Chase here, and I'm here to talk to you today about how to warm up properly and how to structure your warm-up as a dance teacher for yourself and for the students. And also, if you are a professional dancer or just still a student, you can use this video to prepare your own warm-up before you go into class or before you have a performance. So the first section is going to be cardio. It's really important to get your heart going, your heart rate increasing, and get that blood flow to those muscle groups, especially your larger muscle groups when you're warming up. You want to get the oxygen flow to your muscles in order for you to have full range of motion when you start dancing and start, taking your class. It's also important to make sure that the structure of your class is starting similar to that of a story. You're starting out small, increasing, you hit your peak halfway through your class, and then you start to cool down. You have a combination, you have your stretching at the end. I've seen a lot of dancers come in, especially backstage at competitions. Their teachers say, okay, now go off and start warming up, go get ready for your dance, and then all of a sudden they just walk in there and they slide right into a split. Like, yes, you might be able to do that while you're young and limber, but it's going to cause you an injury later on in life. So it's important that you actually know how to warm up. Even though you can slide into that split because you're young, doesn't mean that it's correct and that you should do it, okay? You want to make sure that you're warming up properly before you go into the big things. So start with your cardio, okay? Blood flow, oxygen to your muscles, etc., leads to warmer and looser muscles while you are moving, okay? That includes, to target your larger muscle groups, it's going to include your squats, your push-ups, different variations of push-ups you can do, any kind of crunches, abdominal work. So you're targeting those 3 core muscle sections of your body. And you can make that more interesting for dancers and for a class, so it doesn't feel like a personal training session. You can take the same notion of a squat, of a push-up, and create a dance phrase out of that, so they're getting the core strengthening workout, but also feel like they're dancing and they're moving at the same time, which is helpful, and especially when you have teenagers in the back that are getting bored by squatting for 4 minutes in a row. Add different variations, add different things to spice it up a little bit. After the cardio section, we're going to go into what I call basic technique, which is going to be your smaller technical exercises, including your pliés, your tendus, your jetés, dégagés, passés, fondus, flexing, pointing your feet, everything that's sort of working in 45-degree ranges. You don't want to go 90-degree or above until after we've stretched a little bit. So this is your next section is small technical exercises, which again is going to include almost like a mini bar, and you can cater it towards the style of class that you're teaching. Of course, if you have a contemporary class, if you have a modern class or a jazz class, depending on all the different genres underneath those umbrellas, your warm-up is going to be a little bit different. But this is just a generalization, the correct process on how to warm up your body correctly, okay? So now we have cardio and we have small technique. After the small technique, we're actually going to go ahead and take it down to the ground, usually doing some floor work and some stretching. It's not a hectic stretching process right away, but you can start with simple hamstring stretches, quad stretches, lunge series, a few extension things lying on the floor, eventually sliding into those splits, but no oversplitting, no overstretching, okay? Stretching nice, healthy, at a very good pace. And then after your stretching, you're gonna go ahead and come back up to standing, and then you're gonna go into your larger technique. I want to say more advanced, but it's not necessarily advanced. You're going to go into your larger technical exercises. Okay, those are going to include everything working at 90 degrees and above. Your développés, extensions, grand battements, any battement kind of phrase or series that you might have choreographed. Balancing, starting to work on simple turn techniques, and I would also add a little bit of plyometrics, not necessarily petit allegro, but plyometrics, get those fast twitch muscles working. That's really important for muscle development. and for speed and being light on their feet and shifting their weight. So far, again, we have cardio, small technique, floor stretching, back up to standing for big technique, and then you're going to follow after, then you're going to go into your normal class, okay? And then I just wanted to remind everybody at the end of class is when you can really stretch because your muscles are 100% warm, okay? You should have full range of motion and you should be able to push just a little bit further, okay? And when you're stretching, remember that it takes 30 seconds for your muscle to release and for you to get a deeper stretch. So if you're in a specific position that you are working towards a goal, so say you're in an oversplit, normal split, whatever your goal or your objective is, hold that position for at least 30 seconds and then breathe and let it release and go a little bit deeper. Okay. While you're stretching, you can work your feet, okay? A lot of people forget that it's important to stretch your toes and the bottoms of your feet. There are tendons, ligaments, there's muscles in there as well that are so small and minuscule that people forget they need to develop and strengthen and stretch them. So a lot of footwork at the end of class or in the middle of class when you're stretching on the floor. Footwork, hamstrings, quads, torso, abdominals, backs. Try and stretch everything, yes, full range of motion. So some general overall things that you want to think about when you are creating a warm-up for your students or for yourself is you need to have an objective, a theme, or a goal in mind. Something that you are working towards with your students for the 60 or 90 minutes that they're with you, either once a week or 10 times a week. You need to have a clear vision line of what you want them to achieve while they're with you. And you need to have that marked, you should have that marked every lesson for every month, 3 months, 6 months, and 1 year, what you want your kids and your students or yourself to be able to accomplish. So what I'm saying is your warm-up needs to then be written and geared towards those objectives and those goals. If I am working on extensions with my kids, then why am I going to do turning exercises in my warm-up when the rest of the class is going to be about extensions or developing, you know? So you want to make sure that your exercises are geared towards your objective, your theme, and also the genre of class. But this is just sort of overall speaking. If you're backstage working with a team or just need a quick full body warm-up, this is the structure that I follow when I'm teaching my kids and my students. So warming up is important because it's a chance for you to really tune into your body and speak to yourself and find out what's working, what's not working, and if something needs to be modified while you're taking a class or while you're teaching a class. Warming up correctly and properly gives you a chance to just tune into yourself, find out where you are and where your body is, and really connect that mind and body connection. Really work on that mind and body connection. So whether you're watching this video to work on a warm-up for your students, as a dance teacher, or as a dancer yourself, I hope that you've learned something and reevaluated a few things, and I hope I've added a bit of value to your day. If you have any questions in regards to warming up, please go ahead and type them below in the comment box and I will shoot some answers back to you as soon as possible. Thank you guys so much and I'll see you next time.